Well, welcome to rural America. And this is the place where some of our food still comes from. But one of the things that I really want to start sharing with all of you to really create, hopefully, more balanced health, sustainable health, more preparedness in the world that we're living in the time we're living in. Oh, oh, look at this. So one of the things that I want to just quickly share with all of you is a lot of the things I'm learning in my nutrition class has really been an eye opener and a reminder, even for me. What am I putting in my mouth? How did I get to those connections with our food and where we are right now in time? Where are we right now in time with our food? Is it safe? How can we actually eat on a budget where we're eliminating toxins and poisons and things that we're unnecessarily exposing ourselves? It's amazing that you can go to the store and buy potato chips, Twinkies, Hostess, cupcakes. You can buy all the junk food, and most of it is very, very cheap, right? But then when you really want to feed your family and yourself good quality food that's organic and non-GMO, the cost is astronomical. So where do you find the healthy balance, right? Well, hopefully that's what we're going to be talking about a lot of on this channel. And as I learn even more through my classes here at the Medical Missionary School, I'll be passing that on to you, so you also can start really considering what the heck is going on here. The thing I want to point out before we really dive into everything is everything that I'm being taught here is backed up by research, and this isn't research that has been funded by, say, special interest groups. There's a lot of special interest groups now that have actually come on the picture. They have done their own research to support their agenda. So you remember milk does the a body good, the milk mustache and everything. Well, who put that on? The milk producers. It's the same thing with the meat, the cattle producers. It's the same thing. We can even say the tobacco industry at one time was saying how awesome cigarettes were, right? Everything's awesome. But these are backed by special interest groups, lobbyists, and when you go on Google and you go on Bing or whatever search engines you are going on, you must really have discernment and really look at the source of the research, how long some of the research programs has been out there. There's like research that we are going over that is 22 years old, 30. Don't shoot the messenger. I am only the messenger. And you have to be convicted in your own mind and in your own heart with these things that I'm going to be presenting to you, and if you want to make those changes for yourself and your family. Food for thought. Beef. Now here's some beautiful beef cattle out here. Of a source of protein, right, is these beef cattle. Research has now finally gotten to the point where they are connecting that there is a high correlation with meat consumption and obviously atherosclerosis, heart attacks, different types of cancers. And because there's such a demand for food in this world and we got to feed the masses, they had to find different ways to beef up the cattle, produce more milk. If you think about it, a prion, which is like a molecule that actually was passed to the cow, and what it does is it actually goes into the brain. It looks like the same molecule in the brain, but it's shaped differently, and it affects the brain. I mean, it turns the brain almost into a sponge, and it causes Alzheimer's and a whole slew of symptoms until the cow dies. And the problem with the prions is you can't test it. And even if you could, I mean, think about this. You have some of these big cattle producers, and we're not talking free range, but we think about the big cattle producers, the commercialized cattle places, right? You think they're going to test every single head to see if it has a prion? And you know, this is the thing that you don't know about the prions for mad cow. They can actually stay in the cow for up to a year. So that means even a year after that cow contracted the prion molecule and it goes to slaughter, that meat goes into our chain of food. And now we're eating the hamburger or the steak with the prion. Just, I believe, my teacher said a couple months ago, there was a woman in church who died from mad cow disease. You don't hear about mad cow disease anymore, do you? But the prions are still out there, and there's no way to test for them. And they're not going to. And they're also not going to tell you that there is still mad cow disease out there. How safe is our beef on the shelf? There's so much research now and substantiated proof that animal products coincides with health risks. The more meat you eat in your diet, the more of a health risk that you're going to have. And I'm going to be really going in depth with all the studies that I've learned myself, and that has been presented through my nutrition class. This is just a basic nutrition class. It's there just to present nutrition, to understand nutrition, and then to understand how it affects our health and how it creates disease and cancer and heart disease. And this is something that we all need to know. We're going back to the basics. And then what I really want to do is then give you healthy alternatives. You know, don't just give people, you know, okay, the book stuff, but really teach people, what can I do to change my life? What are some of the things that I can do in my pantry, in my home right now, so that I don't put myself at risk for ovarian cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, lymph gland cancer, and all the other cancers, and then everything else that goes along with it, the heart attacks and the strokes, and there's a lot of stuff there. So that's I'm excited. You know, and one last thing, I'm presenting this stuff not to cause an argument, so please be really respectful. Please just be respectful. You know, you come to this channel, and I'm just passing on some knowledge, and I really want to empower people. And if we can make good changes in our life, and for our family's sake and our sakes, to live in this time right now, this time where we've polluted the earth, our animals are polluted, you know, our food sources have been tainted, they've been adulterated. How do we survive in that? And how do we prepare for our future with that? Those are the things you're going to be learning, among other things, practical things. So, but this is the first little video. I hope it wasn't too long. There's 2 minutes already. It's going to be like an 8-minute video. I'm sorry. It's like being back in class. But all right, that's the beginning of a lot of great stuff. So, love you guys. Come back for more.